Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be sharing all the latest highlights from the Bitcoin Vegas conference going on right now. Also, the latest Bitcoin technical analysis and breaking news. Meta Planet issues $50 million in new debt to buy more Bitcoin. Also, crypto czar Sachs says the U.S. could possibly acquire more Bitcoin. Oh, it's going down. Trump supports the bill to buy 1 million BTC, according to the latest from Senator Cynthia Lummis. Also, Ramsawani Strive raises $750 million for alpha generating Bitcoin buy strategy. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin reaching 1 to 1.5 million this particular cycle with the USA on board, according to Bitcoin OG Adam Back. Also, major news announced officially today. GameStop confirmed their first Bitcoin purchase of 4,710 BTC. Why so bearish, GameStop? We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's live stream. Shout out to everyone in the live chat where it's try streaming, living the Bitty dream. Sweet Bitty McGee in the building. Good to have you here. East Afro King, Juan Espino, TJM, James LC, Shortcoin, OG Backroad, Crypto Bootleg, Crypto Surge. You heard. Good to have everyone here. JV here, broadcasting live, holding it down for the CNA fam, for the Bitcoin Cafe, double shot of espresso in the bloodstream. Let's get it. And again, welcome everyone joining us. Big news obviously happening. Market, a little bit of a correction, but it's all right. We maintaining just above 107. But anyways, make some noise. Make sure to repost the stream. And I'm going to go ahead and start reposting all comments and quotes on X and go ahead and pin the stream right now.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever,
JV.
Take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin.
I shout out Catherine Weaver, Adam Taylor, the Good News with JV, Time for the Moon. Always appreciate you guys. Shout out Glenn Cooper, of course. Sweet Bitty McGee, GameStop officially confirms the first Bitcoin purchase. Exactly. Very big deal. We've been awaiting for this announcement. They're sitting on billions and billions. So this is a small buy. It's like 500 million. Yeah, I mean,
Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin.
That's right. Stack and Sat Wednesday. You already know Shortcoin. Greatly appreciate it. Shout out Surge and the rest of the CNA fam. James LC showing you guys some love. I appreciate it. Nothing but good vibes with JV and the crypto news alerts. Respect. Just hit you with a repost, broski.
And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it.
Let me know if you guys saw JD Vance speak. He did mention there's currently 50 million Bitcoiners in the US, and that number is about to double to 100 million. He also shared some other very bullish things, naturally, of course, we're going to be touching upon here. Just reposting everybody. Greatly appreciate y'all supporting the live stream, tri-stream. A lot of good news to share with you guys today. Stack the bitty and let's get it.
Go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that...
And what's your thoughts on Saylor's proof of reserves? He says it's a bad idea. We covered that story yesterday, but I'm sure a lot of you didn't get to share your feedback, so do let me know where you stand. I actually did a post a little earlier, just to be clear, because I don't want people to think I'm hating on Saylor or that, like, I feel disgusted that he's not sharing. Honestly, I don't care. I just find it very interesting. He would go against the ethos of Bitcoin, so that's, the reason it got my attention. But I wrote something a little earlier. To be clear, as a Bitcoin maxi, I can give 2 fucks about Saylor's proof of reserves. I can also give 2 fucks if the U.S. government seizes all the Bitcoin, ETF, BTC in the future in the name of national security. Saylor equals the employee of the month. Thank you, Michael. And that's it. I mean, teach their own. Some people don't want to hold on to the underlying assets. So be it. That's your prerogative, whatever you decide to do. I wish you the best with that strategy. But to each their own. Don't trust, verify. That's the ethos of Bitcoin. Looks like JD Vance got stood up by Cynthia Lummis. What do you mean stood up? What happened there? Make some calls. I prefer to continue up and away. Bitwise shows the proof. Does not Bukele share with you the proof of reserves each and every day? I don't know. But like I said, it doesn't affect me. I have no horse in the race as far as MicroStrategy. So I'm not like, oh my God, Michael, you got it. I don't care. I mean, let him do what he wants to do. It's irrelevant to us OGs because, you're not going to change our minds. I'm not going to trust thy authority. Let's blindly trust. What happened when we blindly trusted Bankman-Fried? It didn't turn out so well. And they're like, you can't compare Michael to Sam. I'm not comparing the two. I just find it ironic, and that's all. Hey, JV, can I get a fist bump? You, of course, DNA. Always appreciated, brother. Good to have you guys here. Welcome, everyone, to the live stream. Try stream. Get your caffeine on. Caffeinated JV in the building. I wrote earlier, boobies and Bitcoin. I call them the double Bs. Yeah, the broskies. We love the boobies and the Bitcoin, the double Bs. JD Vance looked horrible. Oh, what do you mean he looked horrible? His speech was horrible, or he physically didn't look good? Was he not sporting the mascara today on stage? They were supposed to meet up for dinner, and she didn't show up, and she was mad about it. That's interesting. I didn't even hear about that. Yeah, no eyeliner? Come on, JD. When you're in front of 30,000 people, you got to come prepared. I remember when I did something with one of the sharks from Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington, and shout out Forbes Riley. Actually did an interview with them, and they try to put the makeup on my face. I'm like, nah, no makeup. And I've spoken in front of stages, 10,000 people, 5,000 people, and they always try to do the makeup. It's like it's just a normal thing. They all wear makeup on stage. Me? No, thank you. I'm good. Maybe I'll put a little lip gloss, a little shea butter on my lips. That's about it. I'm not rocking the mascara, the eyeliner, whatever cake they put on your face. I prefer to look like a Drake's coffee cake if I have to, like in the Bronx style. Just saying. Bitty bitties with the double Ds, slanging for the Satoshis for the double Bs. Shout out the bitty baddies, holding it down. I'm just a natural type of guy. I keep it natural. 100% natural. These boobies aren't implants. You know what I mean? 100% natural pectorials. I'm just saying. Bitty broskies. His eyeliner was running. Oh, that's not a good look. Was the eyeliner running? Come on, JD. You got to up the brand. Doesn't the Kardashians have a good brand where it doesn't be the drippy? You prevent the drippy eyeliner. There's plenty of options. I think Rihanna has her own makeup brand. You got to step it up, JD, especially as the VP. Otherwise, we'll replace you with Nippinator. Look what we did to Gary G. Exactly. But anyways, fam, welcome everyone joining us this fine day. 110 in play. I dare say we're about to kick off the show. I'm going to pop open the Spindrift, get another sip of the caffeine in the canteen, put it into the bloodstream. Shout out Sergio as well and the rest of the fam. Oracle. I know we have a lot of fam holding it down in Vegas right now. Moonstone is still early in Vegas. A 3-hour difference. It's 4 already here in Puerto Rico, but it's only 1 o'clock in Vegas. So still a lot of news to share. I'll be sharing all the latest. Be sure to repost the stream. We're about to kick this mofo off. Let's get it.
Yeah, son of what I think it is a nice fine day. 110K is really in play. Most of the chart seems like it's in slow-mo, but the retail crowd will be in big FOMO.
First up and down, the volatility is thick. You know it's just normal, not a fake card trick.
The money is there, all you have to do is bet. Put your money on down and you'll get there yet. Anyone can be rich on crypto. Put your money up, it's a gamble anyhow. Wish it ain't the way to Bitcoin go. All you have to do is to buy and sold.
It is true. It's a true story. 100% all natural pectorials. And they can jump and do all that fancy stuff. You know what I mean? Try doing Kim Kardashian, eat your heart out. Let me see you do that, Kim. Huh? Just saying. Starts dancing to the beat. 110 in play. JV's boobies doing its damn thing. Just don't pull a hamstring. But you already know Biddy's the damn king, the champion. Can I get an amen? But anyways, welcome everyone. We're going to kick this mofo off. If you are new to the channel, important, smash the likes, go ahead, subscribe, ring that bell, turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, 7 days a week, just like this. Today is pod episode 2005. I'm your host, JV. It's May 28th. 2025, day 2 of the infamous Vegas conference. Today, a lot of the big names have already hit the stage, including JD Vance, and we will be covering some of what's going on, obviously, out there in Vegas. But what goes down in Vegas stays in Vegas, but I will just give you a glimpse of what you're missing out on, of course, and all the latest bitty news as we do each and every day. But anyways, let's kick this mofo off with our market watch as we do each and every day, pulling up Coin 360, and you can see Bitcoin a bit of a pullback. Yesterday we did hit 110 again. Today we're 107, a lot of volatility. Bitcoin's down 2.6%, Ether down 2.6%, ironic enough, as the bulk of the market has corrected and in the red, with XRP down 4% on the day. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. The current crypto market cap is currently chillaxing today at 3.38 trillion. The all-time high is 3.75 trillion. We're not too far off. The Bitcoin market cap today is 2.127 trillion. We have 116 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance coming in at a 62.9%, with the Ether dominance at 9.4%. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. Toncoin leading the pack, up 13%, followed by SPX up 9%, followed by Unisted Leo up 2%, as the bulk of the market is correcting and in the red. As you can see, excuse me, on crypto bubbles. Let me get some water in here. That was weird. It was like I had a little mini burp, but like some coffee came up and it was pretty gross. So I had to wash that baby back down. But you got to do what you got to do when you're doing the live stream. Anything can happen. But you can see the bulk of the market, 95% in the red on the day. Zooming out for the weekly, I dare say 70-30 red over green. And for the month, we're mostly in the green, which is good. I'd say 85-15 green over red. And checking out the infamous Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Today we're 71 greed, yesterday 74, last week at 70, and last month at 54, which is neutral. And checking out the time chain calendar. We have 151,246 blocks until halving 2028. And as of today, on block number 898,754, fast approaching block number 900,000. And before you know it, we'll be at the infamous block 1.1 million. Where will the biddy price be at that time? Will we be at 1.1 million per coin? You let me know your thoughts. And as of today, you can exchange one fiat monopoly dollar for 934 sats. So you know what to do, gentlemen. Pick up the sats, put down the gats, and pick up some Bitcoin caps from my man Sergio over at bitcoincaps.net. And if you don't know, now you know, broskies. And again, welcome everyone to the live stream, try stream. Next up, we'll be pulling up some of the live charts. We'll do a little live chart action, Jackson satisfaction. Exactly. I got to be careful. I almost unalive myself. It's crazy streaming. The most dangerous job on the planet, I dare say. You got to be careful. Did JD Vance talk earlier? I need to watch it. Yeah, I didn't get to watch the whole speech, but I watched some of the highlights and I reposted them from Bitcoin Magazine. One of the things he said was, as of now, there's roughly 50 million Bitcoiners in the U.S. He says that's soon going to be 100 million. He also said, we're just like we fired Gary Gensler, we'll fire anybody like moving against the industry like Gary, which, you know, got a lot of cheers, of course. The conference looks crowded. Yeah, I dare say. There's supposed to be 30,000. I mean, if even 20,000 people showed up, that's a pretty big deal. Stay safe. You got to do what you got to do. I'll double down with the caffeine. I got the caffeine in the canteen. Need to get it in the bloodstream. Living a bitty dream. Baby, baby.
A nice fine day, 110K is really in play. Most of the chart seems like it's in slow-mo, but the retail crowd will be in big FOMO. Up and down the volatility is thick. You know it's just normal, not a fake card trick. The money is there, all you have to do is bet. Put your money on down and you'll get there yet. Anyone can be rich on crypto. Put your money up, it's a gamble anyhow. Wish it ain't the way to Bitcoin gold. All you have to do is to buy and sell.
Let's go. Hello, Cat Bitcoin. How are ya? How we doing? Shout out Fairground and welcome everyone to the stream. This gong strike is for y'all. New all-time highs in play. Let's keep in mind we're only 5,000, a half a god candle away from price discovery. Spindrift and play. Now we're talking, Evan. Thanks for playing the track. Shout out Ray Egan. You're very welcome, brother. Appreciate you sharing the track. I dig it. I dig JV. Thank you, Josh. Much respect. The Bitcoin singer, right above you, sweet Biddy. Ironic enough, Ray Egan created that track called 110. What would they even talk about at a Bitcoin conference that hasn't been said 10 million times before? Fantastical question. There's only one way to find out. Stay tuned. I wish you would have said Pocahontas and then Elizabeth Warren to get... I know, right? Let's get rid of her next. Why don't we? Is that possible? Can the Trumpinator get rid of Pocahontas? Or is that impossible? Is she an untouchable or something? Why is she still in office? She was the one with the auto pen allegedly as well, doing all the signatures for the Biden and the war on crypto. So I say we get rid of all the treasonous traitors and, throw them where they belong with Diddy. Just saying. Give them a trial if we have to. I mean, it's their constitutional right. But once they're found guilty, lock them up with the detonator. Just saying. No nippinator. Lock them up with the detonator. Ray Egan, your music is awesome. We got some fans here.
Anyone can be rich on crypto. Put your money up. It's a gamble.
Bitcoin faux life. Faux life. L-I-F-E. We are never done learning about the Bitcoin. Therefore, you got to put in your 10,000 hours if you haven't already. One way to do it is watch the stream every day. We stream for at least 2 hours. And before you know it, you'll have your 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 100,000 hours, and you'll be a Bitcoin OG with a nice stogie, just like your boy here. Give it up for your former chairman of the SEC, Nippinator. Thanks a lot. Means a lot. Respect, Ray. Appreciate the tracky track.
Wishing ain't the way to Bitcoin go.
Shout out Tammy Hatcher. Good to have you here as well.
All you have to do is to buy and sell.
Tammy, to answer your question, I addressed it, and I only ever addressed it one time. So be sure to check out episode 2000, the Q&A segment, and I explain why that is, if you care to know. Looks like we're up to 500 people on the stream. Happy 420. We just hit the 420 mark. And that's my cue. Let's continue with a little bit of the TA, aka astrology for the baddies, after the infamous freeze frame, of course. And for today, we're not going to use other analysts, because what do they know? What do they think? They're Miss Cleo with the magic 8-ball or something? Crystal ball, whatever type of blue balls they're using nowadays to do their divination? I dare say, let's just pull up the live charts and hit it off the way it should be done. The proper way. And speaking of proper, shout out Conor McGregor. Strategic Biddy Reserve for the country of Ireland. Let's do it proper, brother. And with that being shared, as you can see, we're hovering at around 107 at the time of the live stream. Live chart action, Jackson satisfaction. And as of yesterday, some targets appeared. One was 120. As of today, it lowered a little. No 120 target on the 1 hour, but we still have that sexy 116 bullish pennant. And there's one just around it at, it looks like 116.4, as you can see on your screen. We also have a bull scenario below that in the green at 112.4, which would be price discovery. The current all-time high was achieved, I believe it was May 22nd, which was literally 6 days ago, and is currently 112. So once we surpass 112, we re-enter price discovery, preload Biddy going up forever, Laura. And if you don't know, do your research, do some homework, and maybe one day you'll know. And zooming out from there, we'll check out the 4 hour and see how we looking. Rising wedgie, the only wedgie I approve of. Bullish pennant formation sensation. Green scenario, bullish target, bullish pennant at 116.3. I repeat, 116.3 in play. Also, that 40x leverage trader with the multi-billion-dollar long, he's calling for 119 this week as well. So we'll see if we do rise. I mean, anything's possible. A lot of bullish momentum in the market, more so than ever before, especially with the institutional FOMO, like a motherfucking mofo, if you know what I'm saying. Yahtzee, let's get it. And as you can see, also a rising wedgie on the daily chart. You can see we've been trading sideways past few days. No particular bull targets in play on the daily, like we have in the 1 hour and the 4 hour sitting at 116. But zooming it out, a bit further, that's when we're going to see the cup and handle target sitting at, I believe it's 124. Yep. Sexy 124 target, also a rising wedge. Now, the significance of this chart, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green consecutive candles. I dare say, I don't think we've ever had 8 green candles on the weekly chart in Bitcoin history. Correct me if I'm wrong, I just don't recall ever seeing it like that. So this bullish momentum is unprecedented. Next leg up in play. This is Q2 of 2025, the year preceding the halving, which occurred in April of 2024, which tells us we have another 5 months or so, at least, of pure bullishness. And if things are to change and we have an extended cycle, there's no telling. We can just continuously hit new all-time highs, including what would normally be perceived as the bear after this particular year, which is typically the last year of the bull. However, we shall soon see how things play out. You guys let me know your thoughts. And zooming out from the weekly, we take a quick look at a monthly. And the monthly says it's going up forever, JV. The month of April, bullish green close. We just have 3 more days to go here for the month of May. And we already surpassed the green candle from last month. So as long as things maintain where they're at or go above, it's going to be a very healthy monthly close, continuing that bullish momentum. Yeah, I mean, so let me know where you feel the pretty little bitty. Likely take us next, and I'll read your comments out loud. And again, welcome everyone to the live stream, tri-stream, living your best life here with the Nippinator. No, well, let's go. Biddy Boobies in the house, Sweet Biddy McGee says. Adam, I was thinking about that myself. Smash the likes, you bunch of degens. Thanks for the reminder. And again, welcome everyone joining us. Close to 600 people on the live stream. New all-time highs in play. Yes, we're having a corrective day, but there is so much bullish momentum. GameStop finally announced a massive purchase. We're going to be discussing that as our feature story today, as well as a very bullish prediction from, look at that cuteness from the Nippinator. That's the Nippinator indicator we've been waiting on. Adam Back, Bitcoin OG, talking about with the U.S. on board buying Bitcoin, we can have 1 million in play this cycle. We're going to be discussing that later as well. Stay tuned. But first, give it up for Nip. He gets the Cuteness of the Month award. I don't know what else to award it. But Cuteness of the Month award, right there. Look at that. He's showing off. You know you're showing off, Nip. Give him a treat or something. Show him some love. Hit the repost button. I mean, this is incredible. This is rare form, Nip. This is the Nippinator indicator we love. Exactly, Shortcoin. I'm glad you recognize it. Looks like 120 around the corner, I dare say. 124 in play. We've had that on the weekly chart for quite some time, and it will come into fruition. We're not far away. I dare say next leg up is going to be in the 120s, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts. Tammy says Hal Finney passed away in August of 2014, age 58. In addition to receiving the first ever transaction on the Bitcoin network, Finney is also legendary in Bitcoin for being the first. Exactly. Very first Bitcoin transaction. True Bitcoin OG and legend. May he rest in peace. Unfortunately, he did pass a very long ways back. I like to try to get that made. A Bitcoin 8-ball. That'd be pretty lit. How about a billiards game, but every ball has the Bitcoin on it? But I guess the 8-ball, instead of the 8, would just put the Bitcoin in it. The Bitcoin logo. That'd actually be pretty lit. You know what I mean? Is he for real? He's frozen? Oh my God. So imagine that. We bring back Hal Finney to life. Wowzer, Scoob. What if Hal Finney was Satoshi? If anyone knew who Satoshi was, my speculation is Hal Finney knows, Adam Back knows, and Max Kaiser knows. And I'll shut my trap. I'll shut my pie hole from there.
Anyone can be rich on crypto. Put your money up. It's a gamble anyhow.
And fam, don't forget, it's free to like the stream, to repost the stream, to comment the stream, to scream for the scream, all that stuff. So if you guys can show some support on X, it's always appreciated. This is how we hack the algorithm, overtake, the reptiles in charge, and conquer the world like a young Pinky in the brain. There's no other way to do it. As we continue with the Nippinator indicator, he's showing off his balls. He's like, yo, Gensler, grow a pair of these, and maybe you'll be a real G like my Nipster. 8-ball pool orange felt table with a Bitcoin 8 and the other balls are the shit coins. I like that. Gonna have Cardano, XRP. What other shit coins we got out there? There's plenty of them. Ethereum. Posted a repost with the avocado toast. Sweet Bitty McGee. As Nippinator, continue with the indicator. And I think I got one more sip of the caffeine and we shall continue. We're going to be discussing all the latest news of what's happening right now.
Wishing ain't the way to Bitcoin gold. All you have to do is to buy and sell. Anyone can be rich on crypto. Put your money up.
Exactly. Definitely include Dogecoin in there. And we'll put Elon's ugly face on it. How about that?
It's a gamble anyhow. Wishing ain't the way to Bitcoin gold.
So we can't put the Doge dog on there. It'd be disrespectful. May the Doge dog rest in peace. I say we put Elon's ugly face on there. Let me know if you guys agree.
All you have to do is to buy and sold. Anyone can be rich on crypto. Put your money up. It's a gamble anyhow. Wishing ain't the way to Bitcoin gold. All you have to do is to buy and sell. Anyone can be rich on crypto.
Hey now. But yeah, let's continue with the news. Welcome again, everyone joining us. 600 people on the live stream, tri-stream. Here's the latest from Metaplanet. Now we broke down the TA, aka astrology for the broskies. Next up, you should be able to read headline on screen. Metaplanet issues 50 milli and a new debt to buy more of the bitty. That's right, they're buying more of the bitty. Japanese investment company Metaplanet raised 50 mil through a private placement of the zero interest bonds as part of the strategy to increase the bitty exposure. In the announcement shared today, the company said it was raising 50 milli through the bonds. James bond, that is. The bonds are issued in 1.25 million denominations and carry no interest. Interesting. Investors will not receive regular payments, and with any potential profit expected to come from the bond's redemption value, Evo Fund, a Cayman Islands-based investment firm, will be the sole bondholder. The investment company has been Metaplanet's primary backer for the Bitcoin acquisition strategy, subscribing to multiple rounds of Metaplanet zero-interest bonds, providing capital for the Bitcoin buys. The bonds are unsecured and not guaranteed with neither a bond administrator nor collateral. This reflects the high degree of trust between the two companies. Also shows confidence in Bitcoin's long-term outlooks as Metaplanet continues its increase of holdings. And their personal goal, I believe, was 5,000 Bitcoin before the end of this year. And did they say 21,000 Bitcoin by the end of next year, which is obviously 2026. Metaplanet said it expects the issuance to have the minimal impact on the 2025 financial results, though it will disclose further development if needed. Metaplanet's push into the Bitcoin highlights the growing trend amongst companies seeking the alternative to the fiat-based treasury strategies. The move follows Metaplanet's second biggest Bitcoin purchase of all time, scooping up over 1,000 Bitcoin worth 100 million. This pushed the company to the Bitcoin holdings of 78. Wow. So they already have 7,800 BTC. So I think they already achieved that goal. Or actually, let me correct that. I think their goal for this year then makes more sense to be 10,000 Bitcoin and next year 21,000. Okay, that makes sense. And according to the Bitcoin treasuries, Metaplanet's up nearly 20% on its Bitcoin investment. So they're doing quite well. Metaplanet is a Bitcoin strategy, also is given the stock price a boost. 10x Research reported Metaplanet stock trades as if it were Bitcoin 5 times its actual price. The research company said investors in the company are dramatically overpaying for their Bitcoin exposure. Now, with the rise of Bitcoin treasury companies, stock prices getting Bitcoin exposure to corporate wrappers has attracted criticism from well-known investor Jim Chanos at the Sohn Investment Conference in New York. He said he's selling strategy stock to buy Bitcoin. He also said the move assumes investors are overpaying for exposure through strategy and others that follow the blueprint. Now, the investors' move assumes that purchasing Bitcoin directly would be more profitable than purchasing stocks for indirect Bitcoin exposure. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, I'm old school. I much rather just hold on to the underlying asset versus get exposure to it through stocks. But I'm old school. I guess you guys let me know your thoughts and we'll dive deeper into the latest. And let me know regarding, and I covered it in great detail yesterday, but Saylor did announce that he is not going to be sharing proof of reserves or the Bitcoin. Obviously, he's not going to be sharing the Bitcoin address of where they're allegedly holding their roughly 600,000 Bitcoin treasure trove fortune. Let me know your thoughts on that. Do you think they should show it? Do you think it is a security risk? He's claiming it is, but if you're a true Bitcoin OG, you realize it is not a security risk whatsoever, but it may be risky on the future of what he's planning to do, and you don't want people to follow. You don't want all the attention, and I could understand from that, but he claims it's too dangerous. It's not safe. Let me know your thoughts. I'll read your comments out loud. Was there any news bitty falling today or just a little pullback? To me, it just seems like a natural little pullback. Typically, we have a massive correction the week of the conference. Yesterday, we were in the green, which is unprecedented. Usually, we always crash. So 2% correction means we'll be back in the green before you can say Nippinator 3 times fast looking in the mirror with a wedgie, of course. I don't think it's a risk. Right on, Jay Coleman. I honestly don't care. I'm not a MicroStrategy investor, but I just find it interesting how the ethos is trust nobody, verify everything. And now the ethos is trust us, verify nothing. Seems a little sus. All I'm saying. You just never know. My theory is every human can be compromised. It don't matter how great of a human you are. You could be, JFK and you can get compromised. Anyone can get compromised. You just go to the people closest to you and do something bad to them, and now you're forced to do whatever agenda. I mean, how many people in the music industry got compromised? 100% of them via the Diddy parties. How many people in Hollywood got compromised? 100% of them through the Gilligan's Island. You know what I mean? So anyone can get compromised is my only point. And that's what makes Bitcoin so brilliant. There's no attack vector. Whereas if you're the CEO of the largest publicly traded company with a Bitcoin on the balance sheet, you're a target. Hate to say it, but common sense, right? Something, bananas. Shout out Miss Yellen. Bananas. I think I sharded in my pants. Bananas. Exactly. 125 prediction. I would have let Marilyn Monroe compromise me. Whoa. Me in my younger age, I may have said, hey, Salma Hayek, compromise me, please. Just saying. But I digress. I think June will be in the 120s. Let's send it. It's time. New all-time high. It's going to be a hell of a summer, is all I'm saying. Screw the winter. Double down on the summer. I also say don't trust any company that has a CEO. I have some MicroStrategy, mostly Bitcoin self-custody only trust. Yeah, I'm sure you only keep enough MicroStrategy that you can afford to lose. Is that accurate? And shout out Jay Coleman. Bananas! I think I sharded in my pants! Bananas! Thank you, Miss Yellen. We appreciate the update.
Put your money up, it's a gamble anyhow. Wishing ain't the way to Bitcoin go. All you have to do is to buy and sell.
Hey, but anyways, let's continue with the bitty news. Next story regarding the crypto czar. And that's right, Mr. David Sachs. Headline here reads, crypto czar Sachs says the U.S. could possibly acquire more Bitcoin. Possibly. No, we will acquire more of the bitty. That's right. White House AI and crypto czar, Mr. Sachs, says the U.S. can buy more Bitcoin if the government can fund the purchase in a budget-neutral way. And there's infinite ways to do that without a tax or adding the growing national debt. And two of the most obvious ways, in my opinion, before I even read into the story, trade your gold reserves and make Peter Schiff throw a temper tantrum. I'm just saying, why not? Especially during the conference, make an announcement. We're selling our gold reserves, whatever is really left at Mount Gox, and we're just trading it for the hardest apex predator who wants, the inferior precious metal. It's outdated. Ask the Schiffinator. Even Peter Schiff knows that. But alternative way, just print money out of thin air. What if all the countries and central banks just said, fuck it, we're just going to print money out of thin air and trade it for Bitcoin? Suckers. Why not? And those are two budget neutral ways to do it, is it not? And then Michael Saylor has already delivered a report to the U.S. government with infinite ways we can do that. So you already know. But Sachs told Gemini co-founders Cameron and Tyler during the fireside chat that while we can't promise anything, a pathway does exist. Well, of course the pathway exists and will always exist. And there's a famous quote, where there is a will, there is a way. So if the U.S. government has a genuine will to acquire Bitcoin, they're going to acquire Bitcoin. I just hope that genuine will is stacking 10 million of the biddy. Why not? Yeah, I mean, the government could be the employee of the month. Screw Saylor. I'm just saying. However, it would require convincing Secretary Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, or Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, to okay the buy. That's going to be easy peasy because Howard Lutnick is a Bitcoin bull. He personally said in an interview with Pompliano that he has hundreds of millions worth of Bitcoin, which will soon be billions, and he is a billionaire. So why would they say no? So maybe by finding money from some of the other programs that's not using it, yeah, they waste money on virtually all the retarded things and woke culture things they've been funding. For one example, stop funding the Ukraine. We could have put hundreds of billions of dollars into Bitcoin and had a strategic reserve that would blow the minds of these other countries. But yeah, I digress. The question is, can we get either the Treasury Department or the Commerce Department to get excited about that? Because if they do, and they can figure out how to fund it, they actually do have presidential authorization. Respect my authority. The March 6th executive order authorizing creation of the crypto reserve states that it will hold any Bitcoin forfeited as part of the criminal or civil asset forfeiture. Hopefully they learned the lesson from Germany dumping their Bitcoin when it was like around 50,000, losing out on billions of dollars like idiots months later. Sachs noted part of the executive order allows government to purchase more if it's done in a budget neutral way. That's the key word. And like I said, there's all sorts of methods to do that. Specifically, if either Commerce Department or the Treasury can figure out how to fund it without adding to the debt, then they're allowed to create those programs. The U.S. holds approximately 198,000 Bitcoin. There's never been a proof of reserves for that, so this is kind of speculation. And also, according to Samson Mao, 100,000, which is virtually half of that stockpile, already belongs to the exchange Bitfinex. So it's not really the U.S. government. So they need to get on the ball and start stacking some Bitcoin before these other countries put them to shame. Just saying. Bitcoin game theory in full effect. Most of the holdings came from two seizures connected to the online marketplace Silk Road, one in November of 2020 that netted 69,000 of the biddy, and another in March of 2022 saw authorities seize 51,000 biddy. The U.S. also seized 94,000. Yes, exactly. They seized 94,000 Bitcoin from the Bitfinex hacker, which means it doesn't belong to the US, but it belongs to Bitfinex. After the authorities hacked into the cloud storage account, and like idiots, they had their private keys in a cloud storage. Billions and billions worth of the Bitcoin. Can't make this shit up. And it was actually collected from over 2,000 of the crypto wallets. In January, the U.S. Department of Justice received the green light to sell 198,000 Bitcoin. Now, that makes no sense because if 98,000 or so belong to Bitfinex, how are they even getting a green light to sell 198,000? Does that make sense? So ultimately, what I'm trying to say is the U.S. is falling behind because there's other countries that already have more Bitcoin than the U.S. That's right, such as North Korea, which we don't even talk about enough. But there's some hacking group called the Lazarus Group, and they potentially have over 200,000 Bitcoin. So Trump, what are we going to do about that? Yeah, I mean, that's all I'm saying. Trump supports the bill to buy 1 million of the BTC, according to Cynthia Lummis. That's our next story of the day. Shout out to the Nippinator. Keeping it gay, which means happy. Happy days, Nippinator. That's all I'm saying. Not the Diddy gay, but that other type of gay, the happy gay. The good vibes. When is Ross speaking? Probably sometime today, I would assume. Shout out Ross Ulbricht, falsely imprisoned for 11 years for founding Silk Road. And obviously that was an obvious lawfare attack where they try to set an example out of him as a message to send to the Bitcoiners. Well, guess what? Now it's for us to send a message to the mofos, the lizard folk. And the message is clear. Raising vibration, one gong strike at a time, stacking the biddy, no diddy. Can I get an amen? London calling, I live by the river. Bitcoin UK holders are very excited. We're going to the crypto tax. Oh yeah, there's also speculation of Trump making zero tax on Bitcoin and allegedly XRP. I heard it through the grapevine from a little birdie, whispered it in my ear. Nippinator channeled it. We'll soon see. Ross is tomorrow. Okay, so there's one more day after Saylor. I'm sure that's going to bring a lot of tears to people's eyes. I would assume he just shares his story. And I could only imagine, being falsely imprisoned over some lawfare for 11 years. He probably thought he was going to spend the rest of his life. Want to know why? They sentenced him to 2 fucking life sentences. 2. Craziness. I say the U.S. government owes him hundreds of millions of dollars. I say all that confiscated Bitcoin, give it to the Ross family for fucking his life over for the past 11 years. And shout out to his mother for keeping the faith. You know what I mean? And shout out to Trump for pardoning him. Obviously, he didn't have to do that, but he listened to the people, and we, the people, have the power. That's why us as a people, we need to demand what we want. That's only when the government listens. If we don't stand up and demand what we want, they're just going to treat us like the slaves we act like. You know what I mean? Funny, when I produced that track, I meant to say all you have to do is buy and hold, not sold. Hey, it is what it is, brother. I'll pay more attention from now on. When it pumps, search Bitcoin con agenda, says Brent. Trump NFTs frozen yesterday. Oh, what do you mean by that? They froze his NFTs till December? Explain that one, brother. Can I get an amen? Brent with the amen. Amen, brother. Shout out Jay Coleman and the rest of the fam. Don't forget to hit that repost button, bitty broskies, bitty baddies. JV chilling with the stogie, watching the fiat burn. The fiat apocalypse with my cold wallet cozy. Bitcoin stacking like I'm mining with Satoshi. Sats up, stress down, sovereignty. The homie. Respect. Shout out Jay Coleman. G's up, hose down. Keeping it old school. There we go. Infamous meme. Michael Saylor, trust, don't verify. We changed the ethos. I put fact is every human can be compromised. Ask Diddy. Hence, trust nobody, verify everything. Very important. Very important. And if you don't know, now you know. But anyways, it's just another day. Bananas! I sharted in my pants. I gotta love Miss Yellen. Why isn't she speaking at the event? They got Peter Schiff as like a main speaker. I'm shocked. Janet Yellen and Pocahontas weren't invited. Invite old Creepy Joe. Why not? Let's hear him speak. What do you got to say, Creepy Joe? Tell us more about this war on crypto. How's it going for you? OpenSea, no NFTs for sale till December. The original 45,000 Trump NFTs are off the market. Oh, wow. Is that to create like a scarcity, you think? Let me know. But yeah, I say we get Janet Yellen, Christine Lagarde. Let's get them at the next conference alongside Peter Schiff. They can do a fireside chat or something. You know what I mean? Why not? That's the way we're heading. But anyways, next story of the day. The latest regarding Cynthia Lummis, obviously, and the Trumpster. Headline reads, Trump supports the bill to buy 1 million of the biddy. I dare say 1 million is child's play. As the superpower of the world, anything less than 5 million Bitcoin, I would deem blasphemous. I mean, Michael Saylor already has 3% of the supply. Larry Fink already has 3% of the supply. You're going to have less Bitcoin than them because they're eventually going to have 5-10% of the supply. Just saying. But anyways, the Trumpster supports the Bitcoin Act and has a team of the experts at the White House. Let's rename it to the Orange House. We're going to roll out the landmark digital asset legislation in the coming weeks, according to Ms. Lummis. Speaking at the BD conference, Las Vegas, Nevada, Lummis says she's bringing the Bitcoin Act to the attention of the American people of the world, adding Trump supports the bill. Well, of course, you can't short you, dork. We can't afford that. And in March, Lummis reintroduced the BIDI Act, a landmark legislation directing the U.S. government to acquire 1 million of the BIDI over 5 years. The acquisitions would be financed using existing funds with the Federal Reserve System and the Treasury. The Trump administration has reiterated the need to use the budget-neutral ways, which there are plenty of, to acquire Bitcoin without burdening the taxpayers. And I like it. Why charge the taxpayers anything? We already been paying for all this bullshit proxy wars. You've been stealing our money. Instead of fixing the roads, we've been sending it overseas. And I dare say, we've been treating the illegal aliens better than our own citizens and veterans. Can I get an amen? But anyways, you can see the breaking news. Senator Lummis says President Trump supports the bill to buy 1 million of the Biddy. This is massive. That's right, no Diddy. Lummis said the Trump administration has a team working on digital asset issues, including legislation on stablecoins. And more recently, they just passed that Stablecoin Act that was headed by Cynthia. And the market structure for the Biddy Reserve, they will probably roll that out. In that order, the Senate Banking Committee passed the stablecoin bill out of the committee, adding the following: we're getting close to being ready to have it on the floor, Mom's spaghetti. We have worked for untold hours with the minority party to satisfy them, and we should be voting on it for the weeks before we get back from the break. Meanwhile, the White House seems to be in alignment with Cynthia Lummis. Last week, the Trump top crypto advisor, Mr. David Sachs, said the genius stablecoin bill was going to pass. Come on, pass. Puff, puff, pass the Senate with bipartisan support after clearing the key procedural vote guiding and establishing national innovation for the U.S. Stablecoin Act, possibly the most comprehensive federal push to establish the legal framework for the dollar-pegged stablecoins. Stablecoins have become one of the most prominent use cases for the blockchain, with some industry advocates arguing that they could help extend the U.S. dollar's dominance as the global reserve currency. Yay. Collateralized dollar-backed stables like Tether's USDT and Circle's USDC account for more than 85% of the $250 billion nascent market, meaning this market is going to grow massively. You ain't seen nothing yet, but yeah, Tether's leading the charge by far. Their market cap, last I checked, was north of $150 billion. I also want to throw out there that Circle USDC is a part of the lizard folk and cannot be trusted. I do not trust that stablecoin provider, and they are enemies of Bitcoin, I know, because I've done my research. Meanwhile, Tether USDT supports Bitcoin. They have Bitcoin on the balance sheet, and they're Bitcoin advocates. So support stablecoins like Tether. Do not support Circle USDC. In fact, I dare say boycott them mofos. They deserve it. And with that being shared, let me know your comments. I'll read your comments out loud. Welcome everyone to the commenting section here. Before we dive into the next story of the day and another story of the day and feature story of the day and the more news for the Biddy news sends the Biddy price north to the firmament. And then we penetrate the firmament. Unlike the rockets that Satanists such as Elon sends up to the sky. They can scrape the firmament, but has yet to penetrate. Just saying. Step it up, Elon, please. 85 degrees is getting hot. Well, let me see the temperature here in my office today. I dare say it's around 84. Wow, I was close. 83. Ironic, huh? 85 degrees for short coin, 83 degrees for the JV-inator. And the Nipinator, of course, with a 1.1 million in play. 1.1 million today. Imagine that. Imagine that. Nipinator gives us the cuteness indicator. 1.1 million. We bust through this firmament. God, all glory to God. Game on. That's all I'm saying. We have good days and bad. BTD, buy that dip. Welcome to the Vegas, Mr. Julius. Hey now. Coins for the poor, por favor. Sup from Vegas, baby. Vegas in the building. Shout out Julius 360. That's a complete cipher. That's a full circle, I dare say. USDC will be part of the real reset. Exactly. I don't trust the lizard folk. In fact, I dare say, I'll shut my mouth, actually. We're live on YouTube right now. We'll save some of this for the uncensored version of the pod. And if you don't know, we're going to do an uncensored version of the pod we call the after party. As soon as this... actually, let me do something really quick. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Rumble link and post it in the chat. That way, when the YouTube stream ends, when we're done with the news, you guys can just click on the Rumble link and join us. We're also going to maintain the uncensored version of the pod on X. So you have two options, Rumble or X. But I encourage you to visit the Rumble specifically because it's a live and interactive chat. It's a live and interactive show. And then once the YouTube stream ends, we're going to switch the chat to the Rumble. So let me do that really quick. I'll pin it in the comment section so it's easy to find. Give me one moment. Thanks, Serge. That actually makes it a lot easier. I'll just pin your comment. I'm just waiting for it to load on my end. There's always a jet lag on the live stream, unless I can do it from my mobile app, which I think I'm going to do. Should be able to do that. Thank you, brother. Let's see. Pin. Is there a pin? Yeah, pin message. Cool. So perfect. We have it pinned at the very top, thanks to Serge. So as soon as the transmission ends on YouTube, join us for the after party, because the uncensored version of the pod is when the fun begins, and I'd hate for you to miss out. So you guys know. And I'm not going to announce it or wait. We're just going to immediately end the stream on YouTube and continue with the uncensored version of the pod. Direct link pinned at the very top of the profile. Thank you, Serge. You're the man. Let's frickin' go. Arthur Hayes thinks 200,000 mid-end July before the short-term correction. Do you guys agree? I'm going to have to agree with Arthur Hayes. Just blaze. Can I get a Yahtzee? Spider just jumped off the watering can while I was watering the plants and back to the garden. Shout out Spider-Man. No problem, broski. Bada boom. Cheers, brother. But yeah, yo, keep the comments flowing. Let's continue. Next story of the day, we got two more main stories, which are going to include the big news from GameStop, their big announcement and what's happening right now, Bitcoin Vegas. But the next one's actually the bullish story. I didn't know which to lead with. I was going to lead with the 1.5 million target, but then I'm like, nah, GameStop's a big deal. But first, let's stop here and discuss some of the bullish targets. So yeah, headline reads, Bitcoin price will reach 130 or even as high as 1.5 million, potentially this cycle, according to the OGs and the top bulls. So I want to break this baby down for you, and then we'll transition into the latest news coming from the GameStop. And again, the current all-time high is 112, which was achieved literally on the 22nd, a few days back. So yeah, you should be able to see on your screen here. Blockstream CEO Adam Back said in November, Bitcoin could break 1 million this cycle if the U.S. follows through with plans to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And guess what? It's already official. In March, the White House did just that, though it has yet to be codified into the law by Congress. So we're getting closer and closer. Baby steps. The Bitcoin Reserve Act treats the world's first blockchain-based crypto as a digital gold-style reserve asset using coins seized from criminal cases. And quoting the OG back from a post he shared on November 18th of 2024, which you should be able to see here. If the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve happens, prepare for 7-figure Bitcoin this cycle. The market is skeptical on meaningful follow through for now, so that it is not all priced in. That's right. You ain't seen none yet. U.S. states have started laying the groundwork. New Hampshire broke the ice May 6th, signing the Bitcoin Reserve Bill into law. Later in the month, Texas lawmakers advanced the bill to establish strategic crypto reserve backed by Governor Abbott. Shout out to the Abbott of the Shaolin Temple as well. And Back gave a 2025 price target of a few $100,000, citing renewed retail demand once roughly 16 billion FTX bankruptcy repayments ran to the market. He added that he is confident that many of those investors will cycle back into the crypto market to fuel the next rally. We also have another analyst, Geoff Kendrick, who is the head of Standard Chartered, and FYI, the primary shareholder of Standard Chartered Bank is none other than BlackRock. They're saying Bitcoin's en route to $200,000 by year's end, fueled by the rise of stablecoins. And you already know stablecoins have been on the rise. We touched upon that in our previous story. Also, we have Mike Novogratz eyeing Bitcoin's next price in the discovery range. Price discovery is currently above 112, which is the current all-time high. His modest forecast is ranging from 130 to 150,000, citing the strong institutional flows as iCoin institutional FOMO like a mofo. Also, the weaker dollar and the growing demand of the digital assets is a key driver. So let me know if you agree or disagree with Mr. Novogratz. Also, we have the one and only Cathie Wood. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And the wood was actually the biddy, and it happened to be Cathie Wood. Well, here you have it. The CEO and Chief Investment Officer of ARK Invest set her bull forecast for 1.5 million. That's before she upped it to as high as 2.8 million, which we recently covered on the pod. And if you don't know, now you know. That's because we're even more bullish than when she initially made that forecast. Then we have Rich Dad, Mr. Kiyosaki, quoting him here, Bitcoin a crash. Bitcoin is stalled short of 100 G's. That means Bitcoin may crash to 60. And this was posted back on December 1st, 2024, just FYI. If and when that happens, I will not sell. Bitcoin will be having a sale. I will buy more. I predict Bitcoin to settle at around 250 this year. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Kiyosaki. At this stage of the bidding process, price is not as important as how many Bitcoin you acquire. I want more of the bidding. Take care. And then, of course, we have Arthur Hayes just Blaze, who was just recently speaking on stage at the Bitcoin event a few hours ago. He's calling for 250,000 before the end of the year if the Fed pivots to QE, which is looking very probable at this time. And back in April, happy 420, Hayes argued the Bitcoin is driven off the expectations of the fiat supply growth, and the Fed shift from the QT to easing would trigger a major rally. And if my analysis of the Fed's major pivot from the QT to the QE for the treasuries is correct, Amando, then the Bitcoin hit the local low of 76.5 last month, in which it did. It was roughly around that 74, 75 range, and we've been bullish ever since. And the ascent to 250 has already begun. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Arthur Hayes. Just blaze Yahtzee, mofos. That's all I'm saying. And next up, we'll be discussing the latest regarding the GameStop news and announcement, which was just made. Shout out our Oracle live from Vegas. What's going on in Vegas? Tell us the highlights. What are we missing, Oracle? Let us know, and I'll read those comments. And of course, shout out Moonstone and the rest of the fam lamb in Vegas, holding it down right now. Same, it's not algo. Someone is messing. They're messing, eh? Did someone say the stream? No, stream is still good, broskies. We're still streaming. Live stream, if you have a particular issue, it's probably just you. Repost or refresh should do the trick. I know because I'm monitoring the stream on my mobile device. So it should be good, brothers. Is anyone else having the CNA fam from the Oracle? Let us know. Some mod time me out. Oh no. What's going on, Adam? How was the 100,000 in Puerto Rico? I have not heard anything. How was the 100K party? Well, apparently you don't follow me on X-Ray because I've posted, I dare say, at least dozens of photos from the party. Multiple music videos were shared with footage from the party, as well as video footage from the party. That means you need to follow me closer. Probably you're not paying attention. And if you want to see some of that footage, when you go to my X account, click on media, and then just scroll down until you start seeing clips of the party. You know what I mean? However, what happened in Puerto Rico stays in Puerto Rico. You missed out? You missed out. Got the glitch? Yeah, life's a glitch and then you die. That's why we get high, because you never know when you're gonna go. You know what I mean? X does not like me, unfortunately. What are you gonna do? Moonstone left today. Shout out Moonstone. Greg and I met. Nice. Glad you got to meet Greg. Shout out Greg, by the way, one of our moderators here. Met lots of people. Excellent. What was the highlight thus far for you, Oracle? Was any particular speaker or conversation like, let me know. Live from the Venetian, Julius 360 in the building. And I know you guys still have a lot going on, obviously, there. It's only 2 o'clock in Vegas. It's already freaking 5 o'clock here in Puerto Rico. Suave. Did you make that track JV's been playing? Yes, this is a Ray Egan exclusive. He actually sent me a few tracks. We got another one called Crypto King. I don't think I've even played that one yet. Enjoy.
Woke up, check the price, my eyes in the daze. Bitcoin rising up, it's like a golden craze. Say goodbye to Jen Gensler, it's time's at an end. Peter Schiff can kiss my wallet, I don't need to pretend. Bitcoin's hitting 200K in 2025. Digital gold's got the vibe, it's coming alive. Watch the markets tremble, digital wealth on the rise.
Digital wealth on the rise, samurais. My biddy samurais, that is. And shout out to the shouties with the nice thighs. I'm just saying, and the nice eyes. Did you meet Mr. Sailor yet? Shortcoin wants to know. Let us know. What mod puts you on timeout? Wasn't me. Like Shaggy video. It wasn't me. But we're about to transition into our feature story, Famalam. The latest from GameStop. And immediately when the story is done, we're going to end the YouTube transmission and continue with the uncensored version of the pod. Exclusive on X and Rumble. Direct link to the Rumble stream is pinned in the comment section. So you guys know in advance. JD Vance, that is. But you guys ready with the mom spaghetti? Let's get it. All right, fam. Now for our feature story of the day. Big news coming out of Vegas. GameStop officially confirms their first Bitcoin purchase of 4,710 BTC. The biddy's your friend. It's going up forever. That's right. This is a pretty big deal. GameStop, the U.S. video game and consumer electronics retailer, has officially confirmed its first Bitcoin investment, acquiring 4,710 Bitcoin. I like that number because, of course, 4 and a 7 is an 11. You already know. And according to the statement posted as of today, and here is the actual tweet from GameStop. Making it official, GameStop has purchased 4,710 BTC. Grapevine, Texas, May 28th, Business Wire, GameStop Corp. And it basically breaks down the purchase. The company did not specify how much it paid for the Bitcoin or when exactly the purchases were made in the announcement. So it could have been a few weeks back, fam. While its Form 8K filing with the US SEC also offers very little detail. The amount purchased was worth around $513 million at the time the news was announced, so roughly a $500 million buy. Why so bearish? GameStop. That's all I'm saying. You got like $5 billion worth of capital. Put it all into the biddy. The longer you wait, the higher you pay for the prices, and at the end of the day, you will pay for the Bitcoin at the price you deserve. Just saying. The announcement acquisition is GameStop's first publicly acknowledged Bitcoin purchase since the company disclosed plans to move into a Bitcoin investment in March, and they've been teasing us, of course. And at the time, GameStop said it would fund the Bitcoin purchase through debt financing and launched $1.3 billion convertible notes offering following the Saylor put. So we all knew this was going to be inevitable and it was coming, and now they officially made the announcement. The news comes after months of speculation that GameStop was exploring alternative assets. So I guess that puts a stop to that in the rumors. GameStop stocks have shared and have climbed amid the speculation, jumping 12% in March. And then February rumors helped fuel an 18% spike in the GME stock prices. And according to TradingView, GameStop shares closed at $35 on May 27th, and we're trading at $36 in the pre-market at the time of publication. The stocks are up 30% in the past 30 days. That's an average 1% climb per day, with year-to-date gains of 10%. Not too shabby. And you can see the stock performance here via TradingView chart. Now check it. GameStop's Bitcoin investment is the latest in a trend amongst the companies purchasing the world's largest crypto to BTC, following the lead of Michael Saylor, which made its first Bitcoin acquisition back in August of 2020. Companies such as Japan's Metaplanet and Brazil's Melius beefed up their Bitcoin holdings this year after adopting the Bitcoin treasury strategies as well. And on May 27, Trump Media and Technology Group, the company that owns this was actually yesterday's feature story. The company that owns Trump's Truth Social platform also confirmed $2.5 billion capital raised to purchase Bitcoin after previously denying reports of the deal. So we all know you can't short your dork. You can't afford that. Crypto to zero. They really thought that? Oh, hell no. Now let's check out what the High Priest, Your Holiness, Max Kaiser, has to share. As you know, he is in Vegas as well, and has a lot of insights behind the scenes of what's going on. As you can see here, El Salvador continues to buy Bitcoin. One more Bitcoin added to their strategic reserve. Never trust the IMF. Just want to throw that out there. Their new total accumulation is at 6,191 BTC. Max said in regards to what's happening, oh my God, game on. Bitcoin gives you wings. Hells yeah. This was in regard to the CEO of Rumble, who wrote, Dear Alexandre de Moraes, maybe now is the time to let Rumble back in Brazil. What do you say? That's right. What do we say? Free speech meets freedom money. Now we're talking. And let's get paid in Bitcoin on the platform, shall we? And Elon, what are we doing? When are we going to add the Bitcoin payments back for Tesla? It's been too long. And you can't taper a Ponzi scheme. Max is 100% right on that one. You sure can. Good luck with that. And he looks like he got a beautiful piece of art right here from Jake. So shout out Jake hooking Max up with the Bitcoin bird. Bird's the word. And if you haven't figured that one out, shout out to the guys who report. Now also, you got to note Bitcoin is rock and roll as fuck. I believe this was backstage in Vegas back in 2023. And if you're not familiar with Joe Perry, he's the founder of a little band by the name of Aerosmith. And apparently he's rocking the Mr. Miyagi Danielson headband, which gets him that much more clout. El Salvador for the win. Bitcoin country. And if you don't know, now you know. In fact, I may be going to Bitcoin country to shoot some content with Max next month. So be on the lookout for that. When you don't understand Bitcoin, you do stupid shit like this. Trump will continue to Biden policy. Oh boy. Which version of Biden is that? There's like a dozen of them, all I'm saying. Spoiler alert, there is no transition from not your keys to not your Bitcoin. So don't trust these mofos because they're all saying, you can trust us. Don't worry about the self-custody or the private keys. We trust us. What a total sham. Couldn't agree more. And here's a shitcoiner alert. Kevin Kelly, put him on blast. Thank you, High Priest. Terrible idea for Canada. Trump still doesn't get how Bitcoin obviates the need for the huge military budget. And it's a fact. Bitcoin perpetuates peace and love, while fiat perpetuates war and violence. And if you don't know, maybe you learned something new today and you know. Let's continue with the uncensored version of the pod fam. Head on over to the Rumble, pinned at the top in the profile, rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, and let's get ready to rumble. And the YouTube transmission should be ending any of the